two main characters that we're reading about? Jacob. Rob and Sistine. And we're on chapter 13, so we know a great deal about these characters, right? What are some of the important external or internal character traits that we've already learned about Rob and Sistine? Yeah.
13.
Rob does keep his feelings in his suitcase. What does that mean? What kind of feelings does he keep in his suitcase? Happy feelings?
Sad.
Alex.
Sad feelings.
Sad feelings, right? So we could say that he's sad, right?
Yeah, he's pretty sad. You could say.
All right, what other character traits have we learned about? Marcella. He has a rash on his leg. We hear that a lot. That's one of our patterns that we hear about, right?
Well, yeah.
They're always talking about his rash.
Yeah, we should have taught that character.
There's another character, and she
Oh yeah, that's Willie Mae, but we're just talking about Rob versus Sistine. John.
We learned that Sistine is sassy.
Sistine is sassy. I'm going to put Sistine's traits in red. She is sassy. How do we know that she's sassy? What did she do that tells us that she's sassy?
She says everyone in the South is always ignorant.
Ignorant. Yes, that's one of our vocabulary words. We learned a lot about Sistine and how she thinks everybody is ignorant. What does that word mean? Audrey.
I was raising my hand because yesterday I was out and I didn't get 13 and 12.
Okay, well, we're doing 13 today, so we'll give you 12 when we go sit. What does the word ignorant mean? She's ignorant. What does that mean?
Like mean and nasty.
Yeah, she just thinks one way. She thinks everybody in the South is ignorant, which means her a little
She
ignorant,
is.
right? Yeah.
I got
She
one.
is ignorant.
I got one.
All right. Jacob. She is a fighter. She's always fighting, right? Does that make her? What does that make her? A little mean?
Like, yes, something.
Little mean, right? Yeah.
Bob knows where there's a tiger.
Rob does know where there's a tiger. We haven't met that tiger yet.
If we have
Well, we haven't met her with, like Sistine hasn't met a tiger. We only saw the tiger one time in the very beginning.
Yeah, in chapter 13, they should have.
Yeah, we haven't seen it again.
They should have
Ethan.
Sistine wasn't so ignorant to Rob.
Yeah, she's nice to Rob, right? What are they becoming? What do we think that they're becoming? Come on. Friends. All right. Does anybody have any other character traits stuff? No? Anybody?
I don't.
Sophia? Sophia, sorry. Hannah? She is curious because she wants to know about that tiger, right? Yeah.
She's a
Rob does like Sistine. He doesn't know why. And he can't control himself.
probably a crush.
We could infer that.
Rob.
Does anybody have any external character traits? What do they look like? What is on the outside?
15 look has she's very fancy.
She's very fancy. She's always wearing dresses. She's always dressed up nice. She is fancy. Sophia. She does have blood. Her knuckles are always bloody because what does she always do?
Fine. MMA.
She has bloody knuckles.
That's kind of gross, but
Yeah, because she's always fighting at school. What else do we know about Sistine? What are her facial features? She's always like this, right? Marcella. Bad? Oh, she's mad. Yeah, she's always mad. Because why? She doesn't want to be where? School. All right.
we need to get more on the rock side.
You want to give me some on the Rob side?
Yeah.
Go for
Next turn.
Okay, go. Well, we learned in that he has blonde hair. Because when they were talking to when his family was talking to him at the funeral, and his mom's funeral, they said that he had blonde, shaggy hair just like his mom. So yeah.
Rob's mom died.
Rob's mom did die. So sad. So it makes him sad.
I would not be happy if my died.
Well, we know that Sistine has what? When they described her when she first came on the bus, she looked like, many of you thought that she looked like a witch. What kind of features did she have? Yeah. She had a pinched nose and a short chin.
Yeah, that looks like a witch.
I know.
And black
What are
eyes.
and black eyes. Pinched
That
nose.
means she's a witch. Means she's a demon. No, it's a witch because if she has a short chin and sharp nose, then how would she
Jacob.
not a witch?
She's not a witch. This is realistic fiction.
Yeah, because she's a demon.
She's not a demon. Okay, do we have any last thoughts before we start reading?
Oh, come on.
Anything else you want to add? Anything important? Well, we don't. It could happen. He was in a cage. So it could happen. Maybe somebody took him to like a circus or something. We don't know. We're going to find out though. Oh, Sistine wants the rash. Why? Because she hates school. Alright. So we got a good list of traits here. And if we find anything else in chapter 13 while we are reading, when we're all done, we are going to stop and take some notes. Alright? So everybody open your books to page 46.
Already there.
Already there? That's what it is on my book.
Mine is 46.
Is everybody there?
You know what interesting?
It might not be 46 if you have the other version. It might be like 45. It is 46. Amazing. Alright, you ready?
No, it's 46.
46. Alright, are you guys ready? I'm going to start reading.
Okay.
Chapter 13. They walked together through the scrub. The rain had stopped, but the world was wet. The pines and the palmettos and the sad clusters of dead orange trees all dripped water. This is where my mother grew up, Sistine said, swinging her arms wide as she walked. Right here in Lister. And she said that she always told herself that if she ever made it out of here, she wasn't going to come back. But now she's back because my father had an affair with a secretary whose name is Bridget, and she can't type, which is a really bad thing for a secretary not to be able to do. And my mother left him when she found out. He's coming down here to get me soon. Next week, probably. I'm going to live with him. I'm not staying here, that's for sure. Rob felt a familiar loneliness rise up and drape it over his shoulder. She wasn't staying. There was no point in wishing. The suitcase needed to stay closed. He stared at Sistine's shiny shoes and willed his sadness to go away. Ain't you worried about messing up your shoes? He asked her. No, she said. I hate these shoes. I hate every piece of clothing my mother makes me wear. Does your mother live with you? Rob shook his head. No, he said. Where is she? Rob shrugged his shoulders. My mother's going to open up a store downtown. It's going to be an art store. She's going to bring some of the culture to the area. She could sell some of your wood sculptures. They ain't sculptures, Rob protested. They're just whittling. That's all. And we gotta be quiet because Beauchamp don't want people walking around on his land. Is this his land? Sistine asked. Everything's his, Rob said. The motel and these woods. He can't own everything, Sistine argued. Besides, she said, I don't care. He can catch us. He can put us in jail for trespassing. I don't care. If we're in jail, we won't get to see the tiger, said Rob. Where's your mother? Sistine demanded suddenly. She stopped walking and stared at him. Shh, said Rob. You gotta be quiet. He kept walking. I don't have to be quiet, Sistine called after him. I want to know where your mother is. He turned around and looked at her. Her hands were on her hips. Her black eyes were narrowed. I don't want to see your stupid tiger, she shouted. I don't care about it. You don't know how to talk to people. I told you about my father and my mother and Bridget, and you didn't say anything. You won't even tell me about your mother. Keeping her hands on her hips, she turned around and started marching back in the direction of the Kentucky Star. Keep your stupid secrets, she shouted. Keep your stupid tiger too. I don't care. Rob watched her because she was wearing his jeans and his shirt. It was like looking into a funhouse mirror. It was like watching himself walk away. He shrugged and bent to scratch his legs. He told himself that he didn't care. He told himself that she was leaving soon anyways. But when he looked up and saw her getting smaller and smaller, it reminded him of his dream. He remembered Cecile riding into the woods on the back of a tiger, and suddenly he couldn't bear the thought of watching her disappear again. Wait up, he shouted, wait up! And he started to run toward her. Cecile turned and stopped. She waited for him with her hands on her hips. Well, she said when he got close to her. She's dead, he told her. The words came out in short, ragged gasps. My mom is dead. Okay, Sistine said. She gave a quick, professional nod of her head. She stepped toward him, and Rob turned, and together they walked back into the other direction toward the tiger. My goodness, that was an intense chapter. We are not. We're just going to read chapter 13 today. I'm sorry. But we learned a lot about Sistine in that chapter.
She's actually sassy.
She is really sassy. She wants everything what?
She wants everything from Rob.
To go her way. So what are some important things that we learned in this chapter?
She's bossy.
Okay, raise your hand, Jacob. I love it. She's bossy. Okay. Adriana, is that a hand up or are you stretching? Marcella. You want to come back to Marcella? Yeah, she ran away from him because she didn't get what she wanted.
She only wants a ring.
Angel.
Rob told Christine about his mom.
Yeah, he told her about his mom, and he doesn't talk about his mom. He keeps his mom in that what? In the suitcase, because that's where he keeps all his sad feelings. Yeah.
Like, she's like really bossy. She's demanding him to tell her.
Yeah, she's demanding. She said, "Tell me right now," and then she walked away. Ema. Oh, was that hand? Oh, okay. Give me 1 minute. Any other important things? Well, we learned that she's not staying in Lister, right? Her dad's coming to get her. Yeah, but now we know why she's in Lister. Because what did her dad do? He had an affair, which means that her dad and her mom aren't together anymore. So now her dad's coming to Lister to go get her so she can go back and live with him because she hates Lister. Because what does she think about the people in Florida?
They're ignorant.
Ignorant. Okay, so now we have all this information. We know that what they look like. We know some internal facts about them. And now we are going to create, you can either do Rob or Sistine, but we are going to use what we know from the text and what we've learned about our characters so far, and you can either create a Rob or Sistine. One half of the picture is going to be a picture of your character, Rob or Sistine, and the other half is going to be your internal traits, what you think either Rob or Sistine has on the inside. So these kinds of feelings.
I'm good.
Right? Because what are internal traits? Internal is what? Like personality traits. Amazing. Peter. External is on the outside. That's what we look like. I got black hair. I'm tall. Things like that. I have brown, green eyes. Yeah. Angel.
Is like the inside.
Yeah, it's how we feel on the inside. And we know a lot about how Rob feels on the inside, right? All right. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, you're going to make a line right down the middle, and you're going to do one side. We're going to take out our colored pencils and our crayons, and we're going to color. And on the other side, we're going to write our internal traits. Anna?
Why is there no
Why is there no what?
Why is there no legs?
He's running, so his legs are like in the air.
Yeah, but he's just standing like this. Like this.
All right, well, we're not really talking about the cover right now, right? Any other questions before we go back to our seats? Anna?
Which one would I want?
Whichever one you want, whichever one you think you like best. You do whichever. That's why we did both of them.